Undergrunt.
My leg was right out in the middle of the street.
I remember lying in the gutter and bleeding and shit.
Staring at my leg. Right next to a beer can.
And I remember thinking,
That's my leg! I wonder if there's any beer in that can.
In small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the second of the monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth when they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc. I'm a host, Bob Rose. With me is another host, Matt P.A. And with us is a returning guest, Matt Tall. Listen to him respirate.
Sorry.
I feel like utter crap. So, welcome, Matt.
I think we're all various stages of not pleasantness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We all feel kind of sick.
But I think Bob's the worst right now.
I don't feel good.
Definitely.
Yeah. You should move a little closer to your mic, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. Unless you're screaming. Anyway, breathing aside, we watched a post-Meridian Entertainment movie today. PM Entertainment, our baby. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called...
Firepower.
Firepower. Yeah, duh, come on. The name is so evocative of what you witnessed.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a movie about guns and cops.
It must be.
It has
Clearly.
to be. How could it not be? With the poster is two cop-looking guys on the cover, Gary Daniels.
Both holding guns, I would assume, I think.
And it's called Firepower, which means some type of ammunition, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got exactly. So let's talk about it. Wait, no, it's not.
We did not. We did not get that.
It's a movie starring Gary Daniels and Chad
McQueen.
Steve McQueen's
son.
Very sad son.
He looks like me.
He looks like you.
Which is,
he's not an
especially when he's
action
standing
star,
next to Gary Daniels, who's
man.
like rock fucking hard. Like,
I know, it's insane.
It's insane.
It's absolutely crazy, and the way the movie's paced makes you. I love that you questioned whether or not Gary Daniels was going to be there. I was like, "There's no fucking way Gary Daniels is the main character." Are you kidding me? He's Gary Daniels. Like,
yeah.
If he was the main character of the movie, this would be way worse. If he's the secondary character in a movie,
there might be a chance.
There's like a shot of it being all right.
Because the last movie you were as Epicenter, which Gary Daniels was in, and he was incredible in that movie
with those frosted tips.
Yeah, my sadness on this movie is like Epicenter has that great thing where like male porn stars or male like martial artists, when they wear suits, they look all weird, like their heads don't fit. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Gary Daniels in a suit looks like his head is like a bobblehead or something. That it's just wrong. It doesn't work,
especially with 90s fashion.
Yeah, because
it's just something's wrong. He's got
they had
the
huge
shoulder pads.
Yeah, they had it's the shoulder pads.
Right.
Yeah,
this movie this is 93, and it didn't have. I was really looking forward to a nice suit shot with Gary Daniels' head being all fucking trashed up.
Fuck no.
There's none of that, sadly.
No time for fashion in the future.
No, that's right, Matt. It's in the future.
This is set in the future, which we had no idea.
Right. Because the movie opens at a diner.
Yes.
Right, and it's the two of them, the two main characters, in their SWAT outfits.
Yeah, they've got their flak jackets and all that shit.
But it's them. It's not a scene of them talking. It's a scene of them listening to a television.
It's them like
for a really long time
reacting to news stories that are just about their life.
Right.
Well, sort of. The first one, God, all right. Well, the first one's the whole point of the movie, and I don't even get it. We still don't understand what the fuck's going on. It's insane. There's a woman. The newscaster is like, there's been a recent. Like, they thought they cured AIDS in, like...
They cured AIDS 5 years ago.
Yeah, they found a cure for it in 1997, and they made a vaccine, and, like, 5 years ago, they were pretty sure it was almost gone, and now all of a sudden it's back. And it's because there's a fake AIDS vaccine that is indistinguishable from the real AIDS vaccine.
But it's missing an
But
enzyme.
it's missing an enzyme, and it's like,
No, one of my
okay.
favorite bonus disc watch moments was today when I pointed out.
oh my
There's
god.
a scene. No, I mean, I know it's going ahead, but there's a scene where you see them manufacturing the fake AIDS vaccine. And I don't know how. I pointed out that it's just liquid.
It's just
Why are there scientists
Yeah.
engineering a vaccine that doesn't work?
Yeah, like
God,
when
it's
they-
amazing.
When they
How hard could that be? Would
so
you need
good.
real scientists? You're making a fake vaccine.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
liquid.
It's just
I love
Kool-Aid.
it, but they say
green liquid. It's green.
indistinguishable. They say it's indistinguishable except for that enzyme. Like, what else is in it if it isn't just that enzyme that they?
But
didn't- you know what
no
I mean?
one's like smelling when you go to a hospital. No one like smells liquid that they put into people's
Are you
bodies.
sure that's
right?
the AIDS vaccine?
It's
Let
just
me
the color.
smell it. I'll smell it.
And if
yeah.
That smells right. It's definitely not fake.
And
or
who's
counterfeit?
who's buying
All
the
right,
fake
vaccine.
AIDS vaccine? I mean, presumably it's just like street people, like
wouldn't
random people.
Wouldn't they?
Like they don't have any way to test a vaccine.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of that part either.
They just have to take your word for
Well,
it.
they don't have to. What? Who's testing it?
That's
it
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
Okay,
work.
hold on.
It's
So what the
it doesn't
movie's
work.
saying is, what the movie's positing is, but that everything
Okay.
you guys just set aside.
Yeah, okay.
It's positing that criminals are selling like grape juice or some shit, white grape juice in
White grape
vials
juice, yeah. Antifreeze.
to get the money from people that think they have AIDS to vaccinate themselves on the street.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Like
doesn't
people
make
on
any
the street.
sense. No.
Who buys vaccines on the street?
Well, this is in the future.
That's true, but
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not that. It can't be that. That's insane.
Yeah,
it has
no,
to
I
be
know.
like.
but that's what the driving
Well, I mean-
force of this movie is. This is
How do you make money off of people having AIDS by selling a fake cure?
That's
if you
not
don't have
working.
the real cure.
You could do it like once to everyone, and they're like, "Hey, but now I have AIDS. Your thing didn't work."
Who the fuck thinks that up in the future? Like,
Wait.
AIDS is almost
wait, yeah,
gone, and
and
the
I
guy's
said-
like, you know what? Fuck everybody. I liked AIDS.
And I said something earlier.
Like a group of people that really loved
Yeah,
AIDS.
they're like, fuck them. They're trying to take AIDS away from us.
And I said earlier,
I wish that was the villain.
I know, but
He's
like,
like
who
so
else?
AIDS.
Why else would they fucking do that? It's insane.
To make money.
How
I don't know.
the fuck do you make any money? You have to be doing it because you love AIDS.
That's why we were
It
so
makes no
confused.
sense.
The movie opens with like an X-positive scene on a television about this, and all of us were like, "Wait, how is that working?"
I thought it was like a throwaway. I didn't realize the whole goddamn movie was going to be about this AIDS vaccine that doesn't work. And you're like, ah!
yeah.
The best double feature with Philadelphia ever is like,
Oh my God.
this is the future
I
of
just-
Philadelphia,
Yes.
the movie universe.
Oh my God. We got to do something about this because everybody can't just be suing everybody for
Yeah.
having AIDS.
Somebody cure it.
The legal
Yeah,
system
because,
is
like-
choked up with all these bald white men.
We're not making fun of AIDS. It's this movie that. This movie shouldn't have used AIDS at all. It should have been a drug movie. A drug would have been
Why
fine.
wouldn't it just
Yes.
been a drug?
Yes,
Nuke.
exactly.
Just make your own nuke. RoboCop 2. It taught us everything we needed.
Jesus Christ. It's so funny.
It's just like ignorant to even use AIDS. It's like,
And then not even do anything
this was
with it.
93 too.
Oh, it's so good.
Think
Yeah.
about when this movie came out to write the script of a fighting movie. Like, what if Bloodsport tackled AIDS? Like, don't do that.
But they don't tackle it. It's never brought
I
up.
know, but they shouldn't even have been a plot point. It's insulting, man.
It's like AIDS
People-
is the MacGuffin of
I
this
know.
movie.
That's what
It
I'm
doesn't
saying.
even matter. It's awesome. It just could have been anything. They could have been making
I know.
leprosy. Who the fuck not? Like
He's
just
like-
airborne leprosy, and that's fine. It doesn't even matter what they were doing.
It's like-
but to make it AIDS is insane.
Have the decency to make up your own disease.
I don't have
Johnny
AIDS.
Mnemonic did it.
I'm gonna go buy fake AIDS from somebody. I don't have
Well,
AIDS.
it's a vaccine. You're not. It's so confusing.
Like, why create a fictional world where you can cure AIDS if this is?
And then it's still like, oh, by the way, everything's still fucking awful. Like,
Yeah.
What a depressing fucking
It is a depressing
Hey, in '93
future.
we cured AIDS, but by the way, it made the world worse.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, then we get to the next news story.
I know.
It's
It's
like,
so good.
God damn, this movie is
It's like District 9's happening or something. You know, it's like it's just
now brick mansions
Like
occurs
brick
in the
mansions,
fucking
yeah.
movie where they're just like, it's a guy doing an editorial being like, so.
still the first scene on the same television.
So when the cops hear about the AIDS thing, all Gary Daniels is like, I guess I got to start using condoms again, and like,
How ignorant is it? It's so
insane.
people like.
and he's like, you don't have to worry, you're married, whatever. And then the next news story is this guy going, so 7 years ago when we designated the personal freedom zones to try to cut down on crime and letting prostitution and drug trafficking and things happen in a certain area. I think we fucked up entirely because now there are these lawless fucking cesspools that are like poisoning the city, and we shouldn't have done that. I think we fucked up, and that's just my opinion.
You know what's crazy is, you know what's even crazier is like the plot. Spoiler. The plot didn't lead to like somebody realizing the overpopulation was causing the ghettos or whatever. And he's like, we got to put AIDS back into the system. It wasn't anything like that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was a population.
We needed
concern.
AIDS.
It was the
just-
criminals
Dude,
actually
what
trying
if
to make money.
Oh my god! If the end of this movie, if the guy gave that editorial came out as this villain, just like we must have AIDS and cut down on the people to explain
It's
all
so
that. That would've been
ignorant.
awesome.
It's so ignorant.
They're making money off a problem that's already solved.
It's oh my god.
I apologize to anyone listening to the podcast who has been afflicted
Yes, I'm
or their
sorry.
family member because it's this. Don't watch this movie.
Yeah.
Straight up, before we talk about it, do not watch Firepower from 1993 because it'll make you sad. It's like, why did they use this as a plot
I hope
point?
Steve McQueen is in heaven, just like shaking his head at Chad for this. Just like, oh,
I was
son.
in, oh god,
What
I was
were
in Bullet, you son of a bitch. What are you
doing?
doing?
My legacy.
Papillon.
Right.
He's
He's in, I'm in The Great Escape and you're doing this? God damn it.
chubby arms. All right,
We gotta keep going.
Yeah.
That guy
That was just the first
I know,
Like
10
5
seconds.
minutes.
5 minutes.
Not
Yeah.
even. This is like 30 seconds into the movie. Because they respond.
That's like
I
the
forget
most
what
that
they say
happens
to
in the
that.
movie, though. That editorial,
Oh my
everything
God,
else
there's
is so
much
boring.
exposition there. It was insane.
Yeah.
I was just like, why didn't we have a scroll at the beginning of the movie? Just treat it like Star Wars or something.
Or Judge Dredd or anything.
Yeah,
like
anything.
movies like this do that. It's okay. But also we were all like, wait, it's the future too.
Do you know why?
Like not only did the AIDS thing is
God, I
like a
wish-
left hook, it was like, wait, this is
It's
not 1993? What's happening? Like
Yeah, we had no idea that it was a
we
future
didn't realize
movie.
he was in the future until his motorcycle starts shooting lasers or something. Oh no! That's right. They're responding to the guy talking about the because Gary Daniels is like, we should just bomb the fucking Hell Zone. They call it the Hell Zone now. It started as the personal freedom zone,
zone, and then it turned into the Hell Zone.
it's amazing. And then he's like, we should just bomb them. And then their chief or whatever shows up on that little screen and is like, there's been a robbery at a pharmacy and they're chasing the suspects back on this. And they then they grab their helmets and get dressed and we're like, why do they look like
Yeah, they
that?
get their
And they
flak
got the little
jackets.
screen.
Yeah.
So then we're in the future.
Because the diner has screens that are video phones. 'Cause it's
Yes. Future.
right, but we didn't. That was the moment where it was like,
I think
oh,
that was their thing. They're like a cop thing. They
oh, I
had
thought
on
that
the
was like
table.
on every table.
No, I thought
Okay.
that was like because it
don't
showed it on her.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who gives a shit?
I don't know.
We're in the future.
It's a future. Yeah.
They get in the car. They start chasing the coolest fucking. What was that? A Firebird or a Thunder?
Camaro.
It was a Camaro.
no,
The
that's not
coolest-
yet. Is that? That's not yet.
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
that car chase like right after they
Yeah.
left.
They say
With-
there was a robbery at the pharmacy. And
Oh,
they're
with the
chasing-
Camaro. Right. You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're
The
right. I
Zuba-
thought you meant the
the
other
Zubaz.
thing.
No, yeah, no. Yeah, the fucking awesome Camaro.
It's like,
painted
yeah,
Zubas.
White
Z-
leopard print Camaro
No, it was like teal
or zebra print.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
teal
yeah.
with
Print.
zebra print on it.
And the
It was
car,
fucking
it's
badass.
great because the cop cars are freaking out.
Oh my god,
They're in a tunnel
They
and they're
cannot.
swerving, and it's like, but you're just driving straight. What's happening?
It was supposed to look like he's keeping them back, but they look like they're dancing. As opposed
It
to
was
that.
freaking out.
I think it was partly just to disguise the fact that they were really only driving like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they
get
also,
straight up.
then I think while they're driving is when we get told that there might be, what the swordsman might be in one of the
what's her name? Boone.
Boone, yeah.
Boone talks to them on their car's video phone and is like, the swordsman might actually be in one of those cars or in the car ahead of you or something. She says the swordsman.
Yeah.
That introduces the concept of the swordsman.
The swordsman.
Right.
Which is so
Don't
awesome.
don't say it yet.
But then
because that's so amazing.
So the police make a barricade, start shooting at the Camaro.
Right.
There's a cop car behind the Camaro. The Camaro and the cop car. This shot is fucking badass. The stunt was awesome.
Right.
It's just two cars like corkscrew firing through like a bunch of fireballs.
Yeah.
But it's like the cops set up that cop knew that there was going to be a barricade there.
Yeah.
Why did he go barreling through?
Yeah, why didn't he hit the
He
brakes?
exploded. That car exploded. He just blew himself up for no fucking
reason.
And then somehow the Camaro, which was a ball of fire in the air, hits the ground, and 3 people get out of it
Yes.
and start shooting at the police.
They get out of it and they're like healthy.
Yeah, it's like
They're fine. They're not even bleeding.
it's like a flaming clown car.
Yeah.
People just keep piling out.
The guy just literally stands up, starts shooting. It's like
And
nothing
the first
happened
guy
to
gets
him,
taken
so-
out
Right.
relatively easily.
But then Gary, their car shows up around the fire, and they have the dumb shootout for way too long.
yeah, it takes too long.
and that's
then
when
Chad
Braniff.
Beefbody. Oh, Braniff.
Braniff
Yeah,
is his
he
name.
goes and he gets this weird looking gun. God, they never.
explain
This
it.
our gun never came back in the movie, which is
Right.
Dumb.
I mean, that's
But
what.
anyway,
well,
he
we'll talk
gets
about
in-
it later.
Yeah, he gets in the car and he like loads up this weird gun and like pushes
Gum.
all these weird buttons on it and it charges.
It's like a
up.
Judge Dredd gun.
Yeah,
or
and
some
then he
shit.
aims it at the dude. He aims it at the car and it goes around the
It's a
car.
homing
and
bullet.
hits the guy. And he goes,
Yeah.
man, these smart bullets are fucking awesome.
Yeah, you hear that Fifth Element?
Yeah.
Firepower did it first.
Yeah, eat shit.
That's when the third guy who didn't explode when the car blew up runs off to the side, and Gary Daniels just kicks the shit out of him.
Right. Yeah.
Just starts fucking like windmill kicking and punching the fuck out of him, and then the Beef Boy comes up and is like, that's a bit excessive, and he's like, whatever.
Yeah, like apparently Gary Daniels has had like several brutality charges
Right,
brought against him. and
exactly.
He doesn't give a shit. Shocker.
You understand too, like Chad McQueen isn't like fat really. He's just like standing
he's
next to these
yes.
men who are like supermen of like
They're fucking
athleticism.
so in shape,
and to
he
have
is
him
not.
be the character that he is in the movie next to them, it's like, why?
He
It's-
doesn't even
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
up straight. Like
No.
that's what
Yeah.
pisses me off the most. Is like that he's supposed to be the hero. He's all
Yeah.
like hunched over and like weird and dark. and you're
Yeah,
like,
he's brooding.
why-
He's like brooding, right?
He has like fucking scoliosis.
festering. Is more like it. It's not brooding. He's festering.
Oh my god.
He's fucking aged like a bad soup.
They all die. They bring in the one guy from the car, right?
Yeah,
They bring-
the
that's when we
guy
go
he
to the
just
cop
kicked
station.
The fuck out of that's
Yeah,
what-
then they like do it a little bit
Oh yeah,
more.
he in the car before Chad or whatever Braniff insinuates
Braniff
that
and what's it? Oh, it's
Gary Daniels,
Sledge.
yes.
Gary Daniels is Sledge,
Sledge,
and McQueen is Braniff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Braniff implies that Sledge should fuck Boone, and he's like, I don't dip my ink
Wick in a company ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't dip my pen in the company ink or whatever.
I mean, that doesn't matter that much.
well, there's a bit of a
There
I
is
don't
like
know.
a payoff sort of to that.
This
Yeah.
fucking
Quip.
script is terrible.
Oh,
I'm
it's-
just like
It's low for PM Entertainment.
Yeah,
this script's really bad.
It's not good.
yeah.
I'm just
yeah.
trying to point out
It's sad 'cause,
reasons
like,
why someone might care about
We all
another
were like
person's
super
life.
excited about this movie in the first like 10 minutes. We were like, yes, this was the right choice.
Yes.
And then it
made
turns
me
in-
think,
To not the right choice in like 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. Well,
Epicenter was sort of like that, but it did redeem itself.
same director, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Richard Pepin.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's like the PM guy with Joseph Marai, right?
I mean, PM Entertainment apparently was like anybody. If you had enough money to make the movie and you had a script, you directed it. Like
Yeah.
that's why like Wings Hauser's like directed a bunch
Right,
of
yeah,
movies,
yeah.
and like there's a bunch of people that have no business.
Well, they wanted to put stuff on
Directing
shelves.
movies.
They just
Yeah.
wanted to fill shelves. They didn't. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, they go to the police station, which really resembles the one from RoboCop. Like
It does.
It was very
really-
similar.
It looks really similar to the. Detroit police station. Doesn't matter.
It's supposed to be in L.A. also.
Yeah, it's futuristic, AIDS-free L.A. Right? Right.
Semi-AIDS free.
Well, so the guy that they capture is the dude who looks like at least 4 or 5 celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Mostly Balky, in my
Balky.
opinion.
I think
don't
he
know
looks like
why.
Pauly Shore, but that was me. Yeah.
Depends on the lighting.
Like a pockmarked Pauly Shore.
Yeah, he just looked like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pockmarked
they lock-
polish.
Right.
He had like little
Yeah,
things
he
in his
did.
skin.
Right, and shit happens really quick because they put him behind bars.
Well, they beat his fucking skull
Well,
in
they
on
beat
the
him- yeah,
desk
Yeah, they
again.
beat him in the desk.
They're like,
right.
you look pretty rough. It seems like he was like he resisted, and he's like, oh, I think he's resisting again. And he
Right,
just
right,
smashes his face in the fucking
And Boone thinks it's
thing.
cute.
yeah. Boone's is turned
Right,
on.
she thinks it's cute,
She flirts with him.
and then
They take him
Smash.
away, and then the movie, like, this is where we all were like tricked into thinking it was going to be amazing.
oh yeah, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the ultimate reveal.
Yeah, the cops are like, we bringing in the swordsman, and the chief of police is. Oh wait, we missed that. Braniff asked the chief of police if he can have some time off for his son's social. What was it?
Social event?
evaluation.
He said- yeah, social
Yeah,
evaluation.
yeah, yeah. It was like a test of some kind.
Some
I
sort
have
of
to
social-
register my family, sir. Can I get off?
Can I take some time off of work? And he goes, yeah, just check with scheduling or whatever. Then somebody runs up to the chief.
No
and is like,
resistance. No resistance.
the swordsman. They captured the swordsman. They're bringing him here, and he's like, "Why the fuck would they bring him here?" And they're like, "Cause
Yeah.
they would expect us to bring him to the other one, so they're bringing him here,
Right,
so
right.
nobody will know." And he's like, "Oh Jesus Christ! Everybody, gear up! Swordsman's coming." Swordsman comes in. It's fucking the Ultimate Warrior.
It's the ultimate
wearing,
warrior.
wearing like He-Man armor.
Yeah, it's like great.
Yes.
Like this movie just got so much better that it was already awesome,
Yeah.
and then it got so much better right in that moment.
They bring him in. They like scan his like wrist barcode to see all his crimes, and he's like chuckling about it because like
Right.
he has like pages of crimes, and he's just like, and they're like, oh fuck.
Also, he says nothing.
Oh, he does not.
Yeah.
Talk,
He does
yeah.
not speak for like
For
this
a
whole
while.
scene.
Not until the thing.
Don't worry, that's just the sound of the dog's dish.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. Anyway. Hey, yeah, so he
Yeah,
doesn't
he-
speak at all.
yeah, but-
I was kind of excited because I thought he wouldn't speak in the movie.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
he
awesome.
does.
He does,
Unfortunately.
sadly.
But he, so he like has one arm free, and then he just starts like brutalizing these two police officers.
Right, yeah.
Well, everybody else just kind of stands there and lets him
watches,
do it.
yeah.
I like that you were like, "Why does he move so slow?" And I was like, "He's doing like pro wrestling, like
It's like
in the
ballet.
movie."
It
Yeah,
was yeah.
he's taking the time like he was in front of an audience wrestling to do all the same shit. Like he's twisting people's arms. God, later when he's just screaming, you're like, "Good lord!"
I mean,
man.
they got him to
Yeah.
be giant, a
Yeah,
big
no,
giant
he
wrestler
is
guy.
a
There's no,
scary
Yeah,
looking
obviously.
dude, man.
yeah,
He is a terrifying looking person.
he's huge.
When
He's
when
so
you see
big
him-
against normal humans.
Yeah. When you see him
Yeah.
not in wrestling, he looks like
Normal.
another one of those giant guys.
Right.
When he's next to normal people, you're like, my God, he just like could stomp some of those
Right.
people. Jesus, like the Viper guy, he could have kicked that guy through, like off
Oh, yeah.
the earth.
He should be able to just kick people. Like no matter how good they are at their technique, he should just be able to kick them and just
Yeah.
punt them out of a building.
And he's probably
so
like on
big.
innumerable like enhancing drugs
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, he
on
had.
top
He's
of
literally
it.
like
in real life, like not in the movie.
he looks like how you would think like Harry from Harry and the Hendersons shaved would be. He's like that. Oh, I mean, it sounds like a joke, but he's that big.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Where
he
you think
also
he
has
could
a
like
very
just grab a
tall
door
head.
jam and just push it upward. Bleh. Yeah, he's just huge dude, man.
So yeah, he brutalizes those two cops,
And that's when the
then-
raid starts, right?
Well, no,
'Cause-
Boone
No?
chucks like a taser thing, and he gets like green zapped. He gets all like,
Oh yeah,
"Ugh,"
that's
he,
like the
pulses
laser
green.
grid
Yeah.
covers his body. Yeah,
and he hits the ground, and they cuff him, and they put him in a jail cell next to the first guy who went in,
right.
and who is threatened.
And he says, "Hey,
he
boss."
threatens
He says, "Hey,
Sledge.
boss,"
He says,
which
"Hey,
says
boss."
because we weren't sure if the Swordmaster was like in charge of
There's a
anything
gang
Or
called-
just
what
like
was
a
this gang
general
called? The Hell
badass
Riders?
villain type
Right.
random dude.
yeah,
Huh? His gang.
Hellsiders.
Hellsiders. Yeah, because they're from Hell
And they like
Town.
cider.
Hell Zone.
They like cider quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, CIDR. Yeah. Well,
Hellsiders.
so that guy obviously works with or for the Ultimate Warrior,
Yes.
Swordmaster. But that I thought the siege started.
It does.
Yeah,
it happens
starts-
after he gets in the jail cell.
It like happens so quick. We were like,
Yes.
oh,
It's just
because
immediately.
that felt like that was gonna be the movie.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
was like
you were like,
maybe
oh, this is gonna be
15
like-
minutes tops
I
into
thought I
the
saw it
movie.
on Precinct 13. I thought
No.
that's what was gonna happen.
It happens in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Just some weird car with a wedge on the front of it smashes through the front gate.
Right.
A bunch of cops just get blasted. Then the giant fucking badass bus shows up.
Oh yeah, that thing
And
was
The
awesome.
Herkimer battle cruiser.
Yeah,
thing?
basically.
Yeah, it's from
That-
like Mystery
dude,
Men.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
that's like. What did you say? It looked like it was from like
Batman the animated series.
Yeah, no,
like
it
this-
looked like it could be in the show.
It was
animated.
so cool. Looking.
Yeah, it looks
Probably one of
great.
the coolest things in the movie.
It had to be from
honestly.
another movie. They didn't make that for that movie. They just
Yeah.
had it.
Then
Yeah.
a trillion dudes, just an endless sea. It just
A
keeps
video game,
showing
Streets of
people
Rage characters.
piling
Yeah.
out of this thing while cops are getting shot and they're shooting them.
Boone gets killed.
Boone gets killed by a guy who's
A
just
giant dude.
standing there.
Yeah, he's like a giant dude with a shotgun just standing in a doorway while like 4 or 5 cops just like continually miss him
It's insane.
for like
And
a
he
straight
he
minute.
counts down shooting at Boone. Remember, because he gets closer
Yeah, yeah.
and closer and closer, and then you're like, oh, maybe somebody's gonna save her.
No.
Don't kill the only woman of color. It's 1993.
Yeah.
Boom, she's done. And then we get the arc of like Sledge.
Sledge.
Like,
no!
oh, but I really did want to, have sex with her.
Just because
terrible.
I didn't fuck her doesn't mean I didn't want
What a
to.
fucker, right? It's terrible.
Ah!
Oh, hell zone.
Now he's got to fuck somebody else.
Yeah.
Because they wait until she's
And
dead.
he's got to worry about AIDS now. So.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. he's got to go buy condoms again. Fucking Christ! All right. Yeah, she's
dead.
gone.
They kill the people that killed her. Then it shows fucking swordsman just like howling out of the door of the giant cool bus as it drives away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Boone and Sledge gets on a motorcycle.
Braniff and
Boone,
Sledge.
Braniff. What did I say?
Boone is the
Oh, yeah.
woman.
Boone's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, she's gone.
Braniff gets in a car. Sledge gets on a motorcycle. They start chasing the bus. Eventually, Sledge tries to shoot. There's so much of them driving around the bus talking about how awesome the bus is unnecessarily. There's no way to get around.
I mean,
a helicopter shows a helicopter chase the bus. There's a lot of like.
Yeah, then they target the. I guess
Wasted time in
Braniff
this
targets the
movie.
bus and like misses it twice in a row.
Is this when he shoots the laser out
Yeah,
of the
the
bike?
laser-
No. The
Yes.
laser was in the first chase scene
Was it?
when they blew up
No.
the helicopter.
I thought they blew up the helicopter
No,
with the
this
bus
is-
chase.
Yeah. The only thing that blew up in the first chase are the two cars.
Yeah, the
Okay,
bus.
fine, whatever.
Yeah.
He shoots. Remember, because he like shot a laser from the thing, and we were like, "They have lasers."
Lasers on stuff.
That's like a new thing that we were like, "Oh, what is this world?" The world building was so messy.
And it's the only object
Oh, yeah,
that fired a
because-
laser in
yeah,
the entire movie.
there are still bullets and stuff too. So.
Yeah.
A guy in the bus comes out out of the top of the hole and shoots the helicopter with a laser gun.
Right.
Oh, right, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So the
yeah.
bad guys have lasers and the police have
Yeah.
ammunition.
But then
Yes.
then his motorcycle has a laser gun. And he's like, "Oh, the auto targeting doesn't work," and it's like, "What?"
Yeah, and he blows up a car next to the bus,
Yeah,
and then
twice.
misses again and blows up the same car that he already blew up.
Right.
I guess
I don't. Yeah. I don't remember why.
And then they just bitch about how they can't hit the fucking bus, and the bus is.
And the bus
You know.
has super thick
But then
armor.
he falls through the fire created by the explosion of the car.
Mhm.
He falls off his bike. Braniff stops to like get him, and then they both get in his car and continue on because then they find the bus empty in the Hell Zone,
Right.
and the Hell Zone is it's just
Well,
stuff on fire. It's just-
exactly what you would assume it
Yeah.
is. It's Back to the Future 2, Biff's Paradise.
RoboCop.
Yeah,
Any
it's
of
just
that,
a shitty town with tons of crime, strippers, and whatever. It does, yeah.
So what happens here? That's when they ask somebody.
Well, they
No, they've come up to the nearest building,
which is a
which
club.
is a fight. It's the what is it? Death Pit? What did it say?
I don't even remember.
I don't
what
remember
it
the
was called.
name. Yeah, Death Pit.
Death
Whatever.
Hole. Death Hole.
Was it?
Maybe I don't know. Who
It looked
cares?
like a movie theater that was converted. To
Yeah, it was.
The Hell Zone converted it to whatever.
Yes, it
is.
definitely
They're
was a
in, like-
converted movie theater.
Yeah, it was. That's what it was. And
Well, they're in like SWAT gear and they walk up to like a
Prostitute.
yeah,
yeah, and it's
like a transvestite prostitute, and
who looks like he's from like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert or something.
yeah.
Like,
They're like, who got out of that bus and where'd they go? And he's like, I mean,
I'll tell
you're gonna
you,
pay me,
right?
Pay me, motherfucker. And then they're like, we're the police, and they're like, well, I don't care, like, eat me. And they're like, well, we're gonna go inside and look around then, and she's just like, I don't care. And you didn't pay me. Like, I just didn't understand why they talked to her for so long. It was like,
it's a long
just
time.
go inside. Just go
Right.
inside.
I guess they have no jurisdiction there because it's the Hell Zone. I
Yeah,
assume.
there is no. Yeah, it's a personal
freedom
You
zone.
can do whatever the fuck you want.
God, that sounds like something the GOP made up, doesn't it? The personal freedom zone.
Yeah.
It's like the purge. all
Let's
the
hope they
time.
never watch this movie.
I know, really, yeah.
Because
Well,
next week we'll have.
have
I don't
the
remember
personal
when it
freedom zone.
was, but some point in the movie we realized that this isn't the only personal freedom zone. They're like all.
No,
major
every city
cities
has a personal freedom
Yeah,
zone.
Detroit, Philly.
It's terrifying.
Florida has a personal freedom zone.
Florida's a state, Bob, not a city.
I'm saying. Imagine every city in Florida having their own. Imagine those personal freedom zones.
No, it would just become a whole personal freedom.
It would come.
area.
Yes, Florida is
all of Florida would
is
be,
the
if there was
country's
one-
personal
if
freedom
there was
zone.
one, the
Yeah,
whole
wouldn't it
thing
made more?
would be-
Wouldn't it have made more sense instead of each city having a personal freedom zone, just having one
city that-
nationwide personal freedom
Freedom
zone
zone.
called Florida, where everybody has to go, and so
you
you're
can
only
traffic all your drugs.
so you're
That
only
way you're also-
fucking up one part of the one
and it
little
only
corner.
touches.
I
Yeah, it
think
only
that's a
touches.
good
Yeah, there's
idea.
no borders.
I think that's
You know,
a
they
good
should
So
have.
is- Matt,
should
are you
have-
saying that we should just do that now? Like,
Yes, I
Yes.
think that's a really good
cordon off
idea.
Florida. It's like Escape from Florida, pretty much.
Not
Yes.
escape from Florida. Look,
Good
man,
luck.
That's the wall we need. We cut Florida off from the rest of the country. You can only get in one door.
You just all you have to do is you get everything lined up for like just something horrible happens to Florida and most people leave. You're just like, you know what, everybody, scrapping Florida. We lost half of it, so now it's just gonna be this thing.
Personal freedom.
You know what I mean?
It's nothing to do with the movie.
I know.
At all. Like, us talking about.
I like this discussion more than the movie.
Yeah, well, the movie gets
The
shitty
movie's
here.
about to
It's
get
like
really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it starts sucking pretty quick. Yeah, right
On
here.
paper, this movie should have been
Awesome.
like
Really
front to
good.
back awesome.
Yeah, it was up until this point.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
good.
if you love looking at
I was
oiled
psyched.
men,
I do, but not like this. You know, like this didn't have the type of oiled man fighting I wanted.
yeah,
The lighting was
The-
poor.
you know
on
what the
oiled
problem is?
Bodies.
that was true.
Before we get, because
There
we're not
was
going to
bad
talk about the
lighting.
fighting. The problem is that the fighting was impersonal.
Yeah.
I know that, like in
Well, there was multiple fights of
like
people
in
where you're like, who
Bloodsport-
is that?
Bloodsport, the fights are very personal. There's close-ups. You can tell through their
Oh, yeah.
eyes and their expressions what's going on during the fight. With this, it was like a wide shot of two martial arts stuntmen, and I'm like, that sucks. That's exactly what I don't want.
It was
I
like
don't-
background
well, we're getting ahead of
shots
ourselves.
with nothing in
Yeah.
the foreground.
We are. I'm just saying, getting that out of the way, because
Okay.
we're not going to discuss the fighting later.
No, fuck.
No,
No, it's boring
dumb-
as
dumb
fuck,
shit.
so it doesn't matter. So, and it's like
It was.
90% of the movie
Yeah,
from
there's
now
a lot
on.
of
No big
movies.
deal. Just 90% of the movie.
Right.
Really dumb, boring
Yeah,
shit.
Wide
So they
shots
go
of
into this
fighting.
building and they start asking people where the swordsman is. And
Oh,
some
God,
guy
this-
with a bunch of tattoos on his face is
Yeah.
like, I hate you. And then his friend goes, but not like he's looking at them, just like fucking fucking them with his eyes.
Right.
And then his buddy goes, I bet you dare you to kill a cop. And he goes, all right, fine, and just pulls out a gun and shoots Braniff in the back.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a bulletproof vest,
Yeah.
and he goes to the ground, and then Gary Daniels just turns around and shoots the gun out of his hand.
Kills him.
And then he's like, the guy's like, fuck you, pig. And he's like, are you kidding me? And then just shoots him in the chest. And then his friend's like, I guess this is what's going on now. I guess the people's response to this guy getting killed, the
It's
domino
so
effect,
nothing.
it takes so long. It's like, bang, I killed that guy. Oh, that was my friend. I guess now I'll pull my gun on you. And oh, no, you killed me. And then he's like, oh, I'll help my friend off the floor. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, I guess we're going to try to kill these cops. Is that what
We're in the
we're
hell
doing?
zone. Guys, this is
the
the hell zone.
right?
We have personal freedom to kill cops,
I guess we
right?
can try. Those guys did, but they're dead. Wouldn't you stop? You're just hanging out at the fucking death hole. Do you need to try to kill cops?
Right.
Like, just don't.
Like,
Then-
yeah, like, I mean,
and then they just start.
You also
fucking-
know they can't arrest you, so just what do you care?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
start beating people up. and
Cops are
shooting
just people. Who cares what they're wearing? It's not affecting you.
Yep.
yeah, like, why would you stick your neck out after they just like slaughtered two of your
Right.
probably not friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, like the people after the end of that, they didn't even care that it all happened. Right?
No, they just move
They're
on
standing
to the
around,
next
like-
section of the building.
Well, it is the Hell Zone.
We just murdered 3 or 4 people
what
in
can
that
you
room.
do?
Let's
What
move
can you
on.
do? Hell Zone.
What? Then
That's
so-
like when you want John Lovitz to be there, be like Hell Zone.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they walk.
Well,
they
they go
walk
through, like,
around this club
To
forever.
establish what
There's-
the club is and how like evil it is.
Well, it's just a tunnel that keeps going
Yeah,
into
it's a
more and
tunnel.
more bullshit themed rooms.
It was like walking through sonar
The
when that place was
cave.
still
yes, no, totally.
This thing, here's that room, and then eventually it's just like Death Pit with an arrow, and then it begins. Then we have
The
to
movie
watch,
just
we
goes
watch, like,
downhill.
A 4-minute fight between two people we've never seen.
It was
before.
Viper
Yeah,
versus,
Viper
like-
versus long T-bone, long
T-
legs,
T-bone,
What the fuck?
long
I don't
legs,
know
yeah.
what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
something
I just remember it was
crazy.
Viper. That
It was,
was
I think the first one was T-Bone and Viper. I'm pretty sure.
Oh wait, you guys, what was the other names? Because you were like, oh my god,
Tumor?
Well,
the next
there was
match
Tumor, Doctor Death,
Dr.
Viper, T-Bone.
It was like
Um,
American Gladiator names.
Yeah,
It's
really
like that
bad.
kind of shit.
But again, you
But
know,
then you were like, oh,
other
that
than-
makes more sense that he's the swordsman then, I guess.
other than like,
Everybody's
Right.
just got these dumb, like bad Mortal Kombat ripoff game names.
yeah, I mean, we probably saw like I don't know, a dozen to 16 different fighters, and we probably only learned the identities or personalities of like 4 or 5 of them. Like,
Less than
I
that.
would say
mean,
3.
Yeah, Viper.
It was like Viper and that other dude.
Honestly, we learned more about Viper than we know about the swordsman.
yeah,
Jesus
you're
Christ.
right. Yeah, Viper's not even a character.
I
We
know.
more about him.
We know
yeah.
way
Yeah.
more about him than we do about Gary Daniels. At that
And we
fact.
know so little about him. We just know his name is Viper. Like, it's not his real name.
This is how
And
we
Viper's quote unquote the little guy, right?
Yeah.
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 This movie, man, the way this. Oh, we no, we haven't. But
It doesn't
the
matter.
way this movie like handles stuff, it's just like no one in this movie has a backstory unless you have a family or a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that yeah, of course.
like it's the only thing that
This is a
makes anyone
very
care about you.
pro-family movie.
right.
It's weird.
Yet it. I guess the AIDS is commentary on like
Got to protect your family from AIDS.
I guess.
saying
I don't know, dude.
I mean, don't fuck
Well,
your-
I'm
thought
saying
that was
like
weird.
like
That's
yeah.
the depth of backgrounds, though.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
how
right.
pathetic all
No,
these
you're right.
characters are. The deepest we can go with somebody is know what their job is and that they have a family and or a child, and that's it. That is it.
Well, that's
You get to know nothing else about these people. It's I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
and that that
And then the whole
the
movie's
two main
just people
characters
fighting. Like
can
you never
fight.
get a chance to learn anything
Yeah.
about them.
You
It's
see-
fucking nuts. It's just like, all right, I hope you like Gary
What-
Daniels.
What happens? Okay, they
Or
see that
Chad
fight.
fucking
Yeah.
They see the
McQueen.
fight.
Ugh.
They see the fight because it establishes like the rules in that scene, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah,
fight
yeah.
there's
until
a computer guy
until the
that-
computer. Well, yeah, but until the computer lets people have their
Yeah,
own
supposedly
personalized
it's
weapons.
random.
What
supposedly
the weapons
random.
are random.
Yeah,
It's
supposedly the
supposedly-
But that,
computers.
that happens halfway through the fight. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get weapons.
Yeah,
from
There's
the
that
computer.
annoying ass announcer.
But that's
Right,
but that's
annoying.
you don't
kind of
see
a
him.
You don't. No,
that's
but
kind of a
his
little
commentary
point though,
stuff.
is that it's supposed to be random weapon selection, but it's obviously like a dork up in there getting
they
orders.
keep showing that.
Well, that's
guy,
when we
yeah.
were introduced. We're getting
Right.
shown a shot of Drexel.
Yeah, they start working
Right.
them into that during that fight. They're intercutting those
It's an
guys
old
in.
Willem Dafoe looking motherfucker.
Armand Asante.
Armand Sante guy sitting in a blue room with his hacker boy.
Sucking on grapes, just kind of looking.
Yeah,
And yeah, and the hacker, he looks
the hacker
like
guy like gives.
looks like
people
he's
a
from like
weapon.
Tears for Fears or something.
Right. Yeah. Right. What happens here then after
They
that?
watch the fight. Gary Daniels is like, these guys are fucking bitches. I can do this.
I can do
I'll
this,
fuck
right.
them up. And then he's like, dude, what?
No, come
Stop
on, that's
it.
ridiculous. We would never do that.
And then that guy with the spiked gloves comes up and he's like, you boys need to like check your gear
Right.
if you want to fight. And
Or
they're like,
leave.
we're on duty, and they leave. And then
They just leave the club.
They leave
yeah.
after all that.
This was like probably close to 15 minutes of
You're like-
of this scene of them just walking
Because
around.
they were
They're
assuming the
looking-
sword
looking
master.
at shit.
They
for the
give up on the
swordsman.
sword master being there. They're just like,
swordmaster.
even though he
Swordsman.
is, even though he
I
is
thought he was
there.
a sword master.
Swordsman. It's just the
Oh,
swordsman.
swordsman. Sorry,
Swordsman.
Swordmaster.
it's a swordsman.
It is swordsman.
Yeah.
But I mean, and he was there.
He was there somewhere.
Well,
They
no,
just
he was
gave up.
He was in
looking
Drexel's
for him.
office. He was up there with Drexel.
Yeah, yeah. But they just didn't. They just
They-
didn't give a
they
shit.
pretty
about
much
They
it.
gave
assumed
up.
that there was no more rooms in the
That's
Well,
it.
we've looked
Well,
everywhere.
let's go.
or whatever. Yeah.
That's it, I guess.
So
Yeah.
okay, so what happened after they walked out?
Well, they go back to the
Police station.
This it all happens so fast. They go back to the police station. The chief tells them that this is where I'm fuzzy. I feel like I started to go into a coma at this point. I feel like shit, and then the police, everything they said at this part, I was
I
like,
do not
what?
understand what
This is probably right around when I started talking during the movie, saying I'm not going to remember what I'm looking at right now.
The police. I think the chief says
Right? Yes,
something
you
like,
were talking a lot during this.
Yeah, the
Like
chief.
this, well, I will not remember.
I will
Look
not
at this.
listen to anything that is said because the chief says something about the fake AIDS vaccine and that the answer to finding out who's making
they
it.
found a vial on the dude earlier that went in way at the beginning. They found that thing where he's like, I
right.
don't know, what do you think it is? I don't know, maybe drugs. Who knows? They'll test it. They did test it, and he's like, this seems to be like AIDS vaccine, but we don't know if it's like legit or the fake one because
Like, how do you
supposed
not-
to be? It's like, what do you mean? It has the thing. They know what the difference is. How do you
Also,
not know
he
how
says-
to tell?
He says like their people analyzed it and can't tell.
Well, then why are we doing this fucking mission if we have no
idea
idea?
how to tell if they're real or fake.
We'll never know.
Yeah, we won't know what's happening. So their plan, and then he
Why
says,
did they make a fake
So,
vaccine?
the su-
It's so confusing.
"Hold on, let me ground it."
God damn
The
it.
assumption by the police is that since that guy works for the Hell Riders and he had the fake, assumably fake vaccine, the only way to figure out where it's coming from is to get into the underworld where the Hell Riders are, which is the Death Hole fighting pit place.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
It's like they're going there to go undercover to find information.
It's like Stone
tell them
Cold.
to do it.
Yes, yeah,
The
it's Stone
chief
Cold.
doesn't tell them to do it, does he?
I can't honestly remember.
Because later on he's like, it's too dangerous.
I think he might have actually said do it,
Okay.
but
Well, they had a
Well,
discussion
Gary
about the
Daniels-
family.
Gary
Told him to
Daniels
just
is
look
definitely
into
gonna
He
do
didn't
it.
Tell them to
and
do all
Braniff's
this
like,
shit.
I'm coming with you, and he's like, no, you got a family, man. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, yeah.
He's like, yeah, but my wife's fucking annoying. I hate her. Yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, this is when we get to meet his wife.
yeah, I know.
I think he wants to do it just because he's like.
Well, mate, this is when he's boxing in a room that looks like it's in a gym, covered
We
in
get the
walls made of
scenes.
glass.
It's glass bricks, yeah.
Yeah, his house is wild.
it's super weird. A spiral couch.
It's like a spa in a mall.
Yeah, to call
1983. It's weird looking.
to call it minimalist would be like,
Like, why does
luxurious.
A family man who's a cop live in this insanely esoteric place
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
It was just the lobby of like an office building.
of that's shaped like a pyramid.
Yes.
Like what the hell? What is that?
And it had like some like weird name on the front, like some weird esoteric
yeah,
name on the front.
Friends, choir,
But he's punching a
something, I
boxing
can't
bag,
remember.
and she walks up, and he's like,
Mm.
"I'm gonna have to go back undercover soon." And she's like, "You know," she
She's
gives
like,
him the whole,
God damn it.
your son is here, and I'm
You're
here.
not spending
and
any
you said-
time. He's like, I've
Yeah.
always been a cop. You know what it's like. It's been like this forever. Just because I got a kid doesn't change that I'm a police officer.
We have to enter a fighting competition. No, he doesn't say that.
yeah. No, but he's like, I'm a cop.
What
I'm
Matt
become-
said is so true about this whole plan from this moment on. Like, why do they need to get into the competition itself?
Yeah.
I don't like. Were they gonna question the swordsman as he was trying to
Trying to
murder
murder
them?
them?
In the
Yeah, like-
octagon? Like, what are you talking
Just
about?
go to the place and like stay there until people are like, "Yeah, this guy's cool." And
Yeah, you just stake out the building until the fucking swordsman walks out because you know he's gonna be there because he has like trading cards and T-shirts.
and
for
he also
sale.
he looks
for
like
fuck's sake.
he also looks like a fucking Mortal Kombat villain.
I know.
Like he's not.
He wears a cape in the future that's made out of animal skins.
Yeah.
How do you miss him? How do you not catch this guy?
Yeah, he's dressed like fucking M. Bison without the hat.
Like you don't need to enter the actual to the death fighting competition. Like
Especially not him. God, his body. Like,
so,
I just can't stress it. The first time when he's punching that punching bag is the first time you see him without his shirt, and
it's
that's
not
like,
good.
you're just like, oh no,
Not
What?
well. It's
Yeah.
not. It's fine.
He's gonna
Like I'm fat,
fight
so it's
martial
like I'm not
artists.
judging
Yeah,
it. But like
No, but he doesn't.
he shouldn't have anything to do with this part of the movie.
It's an action movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like an action.
He looks
star.
like Kevin James lost like 150 pounds.
You know what I just
Yeah,
realized?
he does.
kinda
he looks
acts-
just like he's like loose. and stuff. He just doesn't look good.
He's like, I guess he's trying to be like John McClane style action hero.
Even
but,
compared to Bruce Willis, he's just not.
yeah,
His upper body is like. He looks like a guy from like King of the Hill, Dale.
He just looks.
He's got like that.
He
You know,
just
and
looks
his
cold.
arms
He has
are
like
thin.
Yeah.
It's like he should be drinking a lot of
There's
beer.
He's
no
like skinny fat.
definition.
Yeah, he's skinny
Yes,
fat.
there's
He
just
looks.
no
He looks
definition.
clammy. Like
Like he
would.
drinks like nothing but Diet Mountain Dew.
Like
on
he
a
would just
porch.
be
He looks-
slightly sweaty and like cold to the touch.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, you're gonna. And he's standing there, and his what?
God.
He's standing there and he's telling his wife, he's basically like, "I'm gonna go and be the hero." Like she's like, "Dude, you do not need."
Why the fuck
Why
would
you?
you do that?
Yeah, you look awful. Like,
You're not up.
just
for
stay
it,
here with
man.
your son. Like,
And he's like, it'll get
let
me promoted.
Sledge do it. His name is Sledge.
He has no family, and thus we don't care about him. Let him go.
He has a ponytail. Come on.
He has unprotected sex like regularly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
he's
his own
already
admission.
dead now that AIDS is back. Just fuck him. Let him go. His wife is a cold-hearted monster.
I mean,
now.
she kind of is, but
I don't
yeah.
get her character. They
Oh,
don't
it-
portray her in like you. Can't, there's no sympathy for her.
No, she's annoying.
They don't show
She
her
just-
do anything except
Well,
be
I-
incredibly aggressive.
There's no warmth between them at all.
no.
I said this during the movie. Like I think this is a trope of like I watch a lot of cop movies, and just like cop wives are almost always portrayed this way.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's the worst.
like they're just always mad that cops are
Cops.
that they're married to a cop, and it's like
but you know, you
They-
married a cop.
and it's manipulative because it makes you hate their character, and it's
Yeah.
just like
Oh, it's
'cause they're so
serious
shallow.
form of misogyny.
yeah,
And
it's
women are
crazy.
all insufferable. That's yeah.
yeah. So what happens after he tells her?
Well, she just.
She
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
well, she
It's
gets
like I'm a
mad.
cop. I'm doing this.
That's what I do.
This is what I
you
do.
know, a cop cops, baby.
She's just like fuck.
Yeah, but then
Then they go in,
they go in.
right?
And
I don't
then-
think there's no.
and then about an
bullshit
hour
in
of
this
fighting and the
movie.
credits roll.
No, they go in. They're wearing dumbass clothes. They go inside.
They were wearing street clothes. They're
Yeah,
not
wearing
dressed
like street
as cops.
clothes. This is
yeah.
when we meet the
Bandanas.
one-eyed dude.
Yeah, the one-eyed guy.
Oh, yeah.
The redemption arc guy.
Arc.
Yeah,
Well, that's what he.
I
sorta
know,
has, so.
he's wearing a
If something
white.
actually happened in the movie,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's
that
about
warranted what he did later.
I think he tells them like he does give a little bit of exposition here. He says, "You'll start out in the normal fights, and then if you're good enough, you'll move on to
yeah,
the
so you
lethal
gotta win
fights."
5 of
Normal
the, like,
fights.
preliminary fights against chumps, and then you can start fighting, and
For
then
to
you
the
can start
death.
killing people and make some.
Doesn't
real
it seem
money.
backwards? Kind of. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
seems kind of backwards. But
a
anyway,
little bit.
you get paid more for the lethal fight, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are doing this for money.
Yes.
They're not like slaves or
I think the
future
one
slaves or something. You know what I mean?
the one-eyed guy was one of the more. He was it was a little subtle, but he was one of the more ridiculous-looking characters. I mean,
Yeah.
he was like. It was like Martin Landau with
He
a
could have played
ponytail,
Sagat.
an eye patch, wearing like a white mock.
And he had one of
turtleneck.
those eye patches that has no strap. It was just like
And- yeah, it
on
was-
his
it was-
eye,
and it was studded.
yeah.
It was awesome.
And he
was
had
cool.
didn't he have the things on his wrists?
Maybe.
He
like-
wore a bunch of different outfits.
Yeah.
He looked awesome. He was really tall. I thought he looked cool. He could play Sagat in a movie, no problem.
Sagat.
Sagat.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Sagat.
Yeah.
I thought it was Saget.
Well, it's because you
Bob
love
Saget.
Bob Saget, but
Who doesn't?
It's
Bob
Sagat. Anyway,
Sagat.
moving on.
Okay.
yeah, and he's like, "All right, here's your, what is it? Here, newbies wear blue. Here's your bullshit. Here's your lockers. What do you want your name to be? You're up next." And Gary Daniels is like, "The Hammer."
Because his name is Sledge.
Sledge, right?
And then he's like, "What about you?" And he goes, "Call him the Pussycat." And he's like, "That is not going to go over well here at all." And then he's like, "All right,
All right, how about the alley cat?"
And he's just like, "I don't care."
I don't care what my name
Well,
is.
if you didn't
It's like,
care,
dude, you're coming here to kill people eventually.
like you're undercover, do a better job.
yeah, sell it. Maybe
Your name's fucking Lightning or some shit. Like, come on, man, it's not hard.
Lightning McQueen. That would have been really good.
Yeah, I just said
Yeah.
that off the top of my head.
Yeah. Oh, you don't care? Well, why don't we call you cop guy? Is that cool? Do you want us
Because
to?
you're clearly a cop, you fucking narc-looking
Fucking
piece of
bitch.
shit. I mean, he does.
He does look like a
narc.
cop. He does look like a cop. He's also not enjoying acting at all.
Oh hell no.
He looks like they caught him off guard and just like, what? What?
Yeah, he's very tired.
Yeah.
So then Gary Daniels gets in his first fight.
He wins.
Wins.
Yeah, he fucks that guy. Oh wait, well first we
just-
have to watch Viper fight a guy because then Viper comes back and they're like, "Wow, that was cool," and because Viper talks
Right.
to
Oh, yeah, because they
Branagh.
sort of come like buddies.
Yeah,
Movie sucks so much from this point.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
this
then,
whole
we
middle
watched
section
Gary
is
Daniels
so
fuck that
bad.
dude
Bad.
up.
And the ending's bad.
Yeah,
And
and it's
then
bad too.
I did like that
Yeah.
we watched Gary Daniels like absolutely manhandle somebody, and then we were all like, "What the hell is this other guy gonna lose immediately?" And only Gary Daniels goes further, or like, what's gonna happen here?
I know. After that fight, when you see like Chad McQueen sitting in the locker room, and he looks just like dude is sweating standing there, like you want to be like, do not get in that ring with
Yeah, you're
anyone.
gonna die.
You look like you're going to die like so quick. Because I think we see Gary Daniels fight. Don't we see the swordsman fight after Gary Daniels? And that's because I remember us specifically
Probably.
saying like, dude, with a competition where the swordsman is in it.
Yeah.
This guy cannot even be in this room.
He looks like he has fucking mono.
Yeah. He just looks
I
sick.
think the
It's
swordsman
like-
is fighting when they first get there.
Oh, is he? I don't
maybe
remember.
when they first show up or something. I don't remember. It doesn't matter,
It
but
doesn't
you're right.
matter.
We have watched the swordsman stab a dude in the stomach. 'Cause it was
Basically-
what's his name? It was the guy from from
Oh, it's the guy from
everything.
Time
Oh, the
Burst.
professor.
Yes, Time Burst.
The professor's the guy. He's shit. So the Shredder's lackey in Turtles 1 and 2,
Yep.
the live action movies.
So he's a bald Asian man.
Great
Much,
character actor. He's been in a billion things.
yeah,
But-
much smaller than the Ultimate Warrior.
well, you were
Significantly
kind of hoping
smaller.
like a Mr.
I know.
Miyagi thing was going to happen. Like Mr. Miyagi can beat anybody up because of technique.
They didn't even make
But
it close.
They didn't. It was just like, you want to see the Ultimate Warrior beat an old man up? Here it is.
and then stab him in the stomach.
all he
with a
did.
And like I
And
didn't,
lick
and like
the
I would be
blood.
scared for Chad McQueen to get in the ring with the old man. I'd be like, don't.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
know.
look-
I know.
You look bad, dude. Like, don't. You're gonna
Let alone-
die. You know.
Yeah, he's the guy that like shows up to work in the morning and you like send him home because you think he's got like fucking pink eye or something.
You're basically like all of us, like looking at him, like we were doing that, if we were in this role, like, don't. You can't do this. This is off
Beyond
limits
you.
to you as a human. Okay.
But then
The
he
Ultimate
gets-
Warrior's gonna punch you down into the earth
But
instantly.
who does he fight? I think he fights T-Leg Bone.
He fights T-Leg Bone, yeah.
and he wins. I mean,
Oh, Chad, yeah.
Chad, yeah,
Yes.
McQueen. Braniff.
Braniff.
he gets like a shield and a stick
A club, yeah.
and a club, and he whirls
Well,
it
he-
around.
a staff is his
and,
weapon.
And the ball Draxel is like, "Ooh, he whirled that staff good."
I like how no one else questions it either. Like, let's see how this doughy fuck is gonna be.
Oh my
These
God.
chiseled fucking warriors, man.
I know.
Like, God.
And he wins though. It's fucking dog shit.
Yeah, a few people in that crowd made some serious money on whoever
yeah.
bet for him
Made a lot of money.
made money.
I mean, he looks drunk coming out of the fucking door.
Yeah.
He doesn't
so
look like
bad.
a fighter at all.
Yeah.
So he wins, and then he go backstage, and then they're back in the lobby having drinks, celebrating.
Yeah.
He tries to order a drink from this dark-haired lady in a dress,
Yes.
and she dresses him down because that's not her fucking job.
What
And
was her
no-
job?
She's a waitress.
She wasn't a waitress. She
No.
took bets.
Yeah.
She just took bets.
Oh.
Because she
brings
lectured him
drinks.
about like I'm the one who makes all this run or happen or whatever.
Right, you're right.
You
No,
can
you're
get
right.
your own fucking drink, and like she storms off,
And they're
Gary
flirting.
Daniels like, damn.
Because Gary Daniels says something, and we were like, wait a minute, what's happening right now?
Yeah, he's married.
He's married. We've established that he's married. And the problem with him being here is he has a wife and a kid, right?
Yeah.
The movie doesn't care about him at
You
all.
tried
my
to convince
God.
him not to come.
Like, why are you encouraging him to fuck a Helltown waitress? Like, what are you doing, man?
Another don't.
Stop.
Like, yeah, wait, you're about to get in the ring with that person who
God,
obviously can murder you.
Braniff
don't.
should just have not been in the movie. He's
Yeah,
not
seriously
fit for anything
The
happening.
movie would have been a lot cooler.
His
honestly.
wife
Like,
would
a
have
lot
been like
better.
happy if he didn't go
The final
and he didn't
fight
bother
would've been
fighting.
cool.
Yeah, because it'd be Gary Daniels versus the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, which we still get, but not. Well,
Yeah.
God, Jesus.
Uh,
That should be so much.
I don't
more
even
awesome.
remember what
Where
You're
were
about
we
to
just
say
now?
next.
Oh.
Go ahead. What
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
So
I don't
they're
know.
talking to the waitress, and then he goes and tries to apologize and flirt with her.
Oh,
He
is
starts
that when they're
flirting
in the
with
back alley?
her. No.
Oh,
Just
no,
still
no.
in the main floor because he's like starting to flirt with her, and then
Yeah, he's like something
Ultimate
about a
Yeah,
Warrior-
cigarette.
and we were all like, "What's going on right
Yeah,
now?
and then
Why is he
Draxel-
doing that?"
Draxel and
The Ultimate Warrior
walk
wearing
up.
his shoulder cape.
Yeah, fucking just
So
walking
he's like
through
fucking nuts. Look, he's like a mountain, and he looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
They come up and he's like, "You twirled that stick real nice," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm practiced." And then he's like, "Well, why don't you keep your stick in the ring, and not?"
It
in
was like
my
a-
waitress.
It was the
Yeah.
penis,
Not in the-
penis
not in the
metaphor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
going
like
on.
telling him to stay away from her because, or he was like, "I heard you're Draxel's property," and she's like, "I'm nobody's property. I'm a fucking person." Blah blah blah. But then he comes up to be like, "Don't fuck with her."
Right, yeah.
What the fuck happens next?
I'm pretty sure it's back to.
Oh, then we get him playing Super Nintendo
Yes.
with his
yeah, with his son.
He goes
robot
home.
child.
Sitting on
Dude.
the most insane couch
the-
that's
the
ever been
swirl
manufactured.
chair. It just
Yeah.
looks like a red swirl.
Spiral. It's like a red cushion spiral.
I just love that they're sitting on it like it's normal,
Yep.
and we're,
Yeah.
we're just supposed to accept it.
It's like a completely empty room with a red cushion spiral couch.
thing.
Who lives in a house?
You don't
that
even
looks
see
like
the
that?
TV that they're looking at. Like you see nothing.
It's the
No.
future. Make up a video game system. Like you live in a weird swirl chaired house with
In a
fucking
pyramid.
glass
In a
walls,
pyramid.
in a pyramid.
When did Super
You're not playing
Nintendo come
Super
out? Was it
Nintendo.
like was it product placement?
Well,
I don't know. I'm just
well, the
joking.
movie's 5 years after
Oh,
1993.
that's right. Never mind. Fuck what I just said.
1997 is when they found
So-
the enzyme.
Oh, so it's probably like
So it's
2000
2002 or
Yeah, they
something.
never.
Super Nintendo
say.
would not. It doesn't matter.
I
Yeah.
know, but it's
I was
just
just
like, it
joking.
was
Does
a
not
weird
matter.
choice
I was
to, like,
joking, I was
show
joking.
us the Super Nintendo
I was just
controller.
joking.
But then the weirdest,
it
like,
doesn't
this
matter.
is where autism comes from conversation happens, where this kid is being talked about, but not to, as his parents are, like, screaming at each other,
Well,
but
she-
they never
I
stop
know.
playing video
Here's
games.
the thing.
And the kid says not a word!
But he's playing with his son, and he's got a black eye, but he's dressed nice and he's clean. And I love that she walks in and goes,
Look
"You
at you.
fucking mess!" It was just like
Yeah,
this
look
guy
at
kind of looks better than he has the whole movie, and she's just like, "What
he-
kind of what do you say to your son when you look like this?" And the kid was having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that kid has any kind of time, dude. He
But
did not
when the scene
respond to
opened,
anything.
The kid did smile when he was playing the
Did
game.
he?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yes, he was
I
fine.
don't think so.
I'll just take your word for it.
That kid
You don't
stared
remember.
forward in a robot gaze, just
Yes.
done playing
in his
video
mock
games.
turtleneck.
It
A lot
didn't
of
matter.
mock turtlenecks in
We
this
never
movie.
see the kid again, right?
No,
Like ever.
no,
Which is awful if you think about what's going to happen.
because yes,
It's
that's why you
terrible.
had to get rid of the kid. You can't show that kid again. You got to forget he exists. You can't end this movie. the way
can't end it
happens.
with that.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So it's weird that they're undercover and they're still going back to the normal city.
Yeah.
wouldn't
you
someone
shouldn't do
follow
that.
him? Why wouldn't Draxel
Yeah.
be like,
Oh shit!
Jesus,
It's been a fucking hour.
that's insane? Well, we've screamed about AIDS for a long time.
It
at the
did.
beginning.
I mean, the last epicenter we talked a hell of a lot longer than that.
Well, I was just
I mean,
shocked 'cause
there's
nothing
so
that
much
happens
fighting
in
left
this
that
movie.
it'll be quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they fight. They fight. They fight. They fight.
Yeah, why would
Credits.
all they had to do was tail? Wouldn't he tail like people, especially Gary Daniels, some super?
We
ripped
can't
dude
fix
that
how the
just, like,
cop works. The way the
Yeah,
cop
okay.
stuff works does not make sense.
I know, but I'm saying, but
And we're-
Draxel
well-
would track people.
But we're sort of getting
he
to
obviously already has a hairy eyeball on Braniff.
But we get to a
Wouldn't he just be
version
like-
of that sort of in the near future
Oh.
here.
I
Kind
guess.
of. I mean, they didn't do it that exact way, but
Yeah.
the result was the same.
No, you're right.
So now at this point, they've gone back to the station and told the chief that they're fighting in an underground fight ring.
Yeah.
And they're going to find out more about the swordsman. And he is like, "You guys are out of your goddamn mind. Stop it. Stop now." And then they're like, "No, we got to." And he's like, "Go to your family." He's like, "I don't care about them. We got to do this." And he's like, "Oh, my
Fuck
God.
them. What's he doing?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but fine, keep going." And they're like,
Right.
"Excellent. Let's go back out there." And then we get more fighting.
They didn't even really accomplish anything to go back to the chief. Like, what were they telling him?
They thought they were close. They're like, "We're close."
To what? To finding something out? They didn't have anything.
I don't know, man.
It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not like we heard about the location, maybe.
Yeah, no.
There's none of that. It was just like, yeah, we saw more fighting that like we did the first time, and now we're involved in it. I beat a guy up.
At what point?
What?
Was it when they were in the bar hitting or sort of flirting with the raven-haired lady and sword man?
Sword.
Swordsman.
When he saunters in there looking like M. Bison, was that they didn't draw attention to it? Would that be when they knew that he was even in the fucking building? Because like, they went there the first time, never saw him.
I think then that's why they were like, "Oh, we're close then."
Okay.
I guess.
They didn't really. I don't think they talked about it.
Well, then that means that the next scene when they go back is when the Ultimate Warrior fights the Ninja Turtles guy.
No, it isn't because
I think Matt's right though,
no,
because the
maybe
first
you're
time they
right.
know that the swordsman is like in the building is that moment.
I guess you're right.
And then they come back
And
after
then he
they talk to
kills
the
that
chief.
guy.
He kills that. The stakes are now like, okay, the swordsman is the shit.
Yeah.
I
We
think
got.
Gary
He's
Daniels
the man
has
to beat.
I think Gary Daniels has another fight, and he sees the
There's so
the
many
betting
fights
woman.
There's so much
that
fighting.
are all the
God.
same.
It's insane.
They're so boring. Too.
They're
Yeah.
completely indistinguishable in my mind.
But he
I-
sees the raven-haired lady walking down, like going outside through a door, and he follows her, and the
Mhm.
one-eyed guy sees it happen.
Yep.
And then this is where he tells her that he has a wife, and she's really mad that he's here. And she's like, "Well, my boyfriend used to be a fighter, and then he got killed in the ring, and I fucking hate all of this." And he's like, "You should just go." And
It's
that's when
literally four blocks
He's
away.
like, the border is 4 blocks that way. Just leave.
Just walk over there.
Now,
Do you know how many
Matt
times
was screaming about our Brick
Yeah.
Mansions episode
Yeah.
because that whole episode we're like, just leave.
The whole movie, I just kept being like, "Why do you live there?"
Yeah.
No one's forced to live in it.
Walk out, like
All you have to
physically
do-
walk away. You just
And this
need
is
to.
another-
and you have
instance
nothing.
where,
You
like-
have nothing to lose.
Like, yeah, she doesn't own
You're not giving up
anything.
anything.
You know,
And it's the personal freedom zone. There's no blockades or anything. You just walk out.
Yeah.
who lives there versus just hangs out? Like, I could understand, be like, "Hey, you want to go to the personal freedom zone for a couple hours?
Where
and,
murder's legal.
smoke some joints,
But
and just
murder's
hang
also
out near
legal.
the edge and hopefully not die." Be like, that'd be a thing to do. But
Yeah, it's like parts of
who
Tijuana.
the
You just
fuck lives in it? Like, even a drug lord probably like has a house outside of the personal freedom zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one should like
Why the
Drexel
fuck is
better
anyone
not live
actually living there?
there. And if you do, your house better be like a safe.
Yeah, you
Like,
better
don't-
live in a fucking concrete slab that has no exits.
It just
You
has like an
magic.
air hole. Like that's it.
eye patch. He said he lived there,
Yeah, he says he lives
But he also
there.
said he doesn't want anything.
And she obviously lives
and
there.
he's
if
also
he's
like giant, and nobody's gonna fuck with him.
right. Well, they have connections there, kind of that makes them powerful enough, maybe to protect them. I guess.
I guess.
She
she
takes
can
bets.
just get
He
a
runs
job
the Hellhole nightclub.
anywhere.
I guess.
It's not like she's doing anything special. She's taking
No,
bets.
I don't agree.
I'm just saying, like, why does
the
she
fact that he
live
says
in it?
that this is worse than Brick
Why,
Mansions.
Bob? Why would you live
It's worse
in
than
it?
Brick Mansions because she's like literally, it's like 4 blocks that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blocks. That's,
She's like, no, I have to live here so I can hand out Kino tickets all day or
it's
whatever.
like, dude, we can walk out of here within 5 minutes.
Why would anyone have a job in the Hell Zone
I don't know.
that wasn't like your own shit? That's what
Yeah,
I don't
I know.
get. Who's like working door?
How do you go
at
into
the
the Hell
death
Zone and be like,
pit?
I'm looking for employment?
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Get the fuck. You can work at like a fast food joint where there's laws. You know what I mean?
OSHA.
She's getting treated like shit.
Wait, shouldn't it have been a
the
gang
money she's
member
making
taking
is
money?
only the money she's making is paying for her to live in the Hell Zone.
Why did
You know what I mean? Like you're making money to live there.
Oh my God.
you know.
Like your life isn't
Yeah.
getting better by more money being made because you're living in a zone of hell.
Why does-
you know damn well that OSHA does not go into the fucking hell zone.
Hell Zone, right?
Question. Why
There's
does
probably a glass ceiling there too. That's pretty heavy
Yeah.
for her.
Christ. In this world, yes. In
Yeah,
this movie,
it's-
yes.
yeah.
Why the fuck does Drexel put any energy into seeming like a legitimate businessman when his business is in a place called the Hell
Can't break the
Zone?
law.
There are no laws to break. Why does he like pretend that he's legitimate at all?
I think the bigger question
He could be
here is-
openly threatening everyone all the time, but he won't do it. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason not to.
No.
He basically runs it. It's insane. I just think.
But do you understand? Okay.
This idea was not thought out at all.
I was gonna say is the thing that we really should discuss is the connection between Drexel and his AIDS vaccine facade operation
that he uses
and
the fucking gang to protect,
and a fighting ring
with
nightclub.
a fighting ring. What is the point of the fighting ring?
But no, I'm saying, I know. Hold on. The Hellsiders themselves, the gang, are talked about but never really shown where they exist.
No.
Yeah.
They just are kind of in Hell Zone. But it's like the actual fighting ring has nothing to do with the operation. The people that are in the fighting ring are generally just like people trying to. Viper was just making a living. He's not a Hellsider. So the people that the cops were getting in with were not Hellsiders involved in the AIDS vaccine operation.
Right.
Drexel just happened to be like the fighting thing is like Drexel owning a bar and you're like, I'm gonna work at the bar to find something else out.
Yeah.
He just owned the operation. It wasn't it wasn't a part of anything.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna get into the CIA and bust open this conspiracy, and like you just make friends with a janitor.
Right. It's like because he's kind of associated with it.
Yeah.
They weren't really going
he cleans
after
up their shit, so he must
They
know.
were going after the swordsman and not Drexel
at first,
but they knew about Drexel, and then they just kept fighting in these death matches. And it's like, why are you? You could just leave too.
You could just hang out.
You guys could realize what's happening and go like back and say, "Yeah, everyone, gear up. We're gonna go in there and take Drexel out. We're gonna flatten this fucking place." You know, they could. Why not?
Also,
the cops can do that.
Also,
there's no laws there.
If there's
the
no
cops,
laws,
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a cop or not.
No,
there's
that's
no
what I'm saying.
laws. Anything you can do, you do whatever you want.
like if you're a cop and you
take
suspect
the laser off that motorcycle, you just go in there and go crazy,
sweep
just
the
start
streets.
massacring people. Like, who gives a shit?
you just kill him.
No one will do anything.
Gary Daniels does not care about human life in this movie. He could kill everyone in there.
Yeah, he killed
wanted to
two guys
bomb
in
it
the
at the
first 30
beginning.
seconds of walking in the bar.
There's no reason you need to be in a martial arts contest to the death to find the AIDS vaccine. Is the
we
point.
have to get proof.
Fake AIDS vest. God damn.
They don't, but there's no legalities in
That's
Hell
what I'm
Zone.
saying.
They
Yeah,
could
yeah.
just bust in Drexel's.
You don't need
room and be like,
evidence.
"Hey, hacker, bitch, stab him in the neck," and be like, "We're gonna search around his room to figure out where the shit is." You don't need to be.
You already
fighting.
killed two people. You killed two people. You just keep killing people
They
until
didn't
you
even
find them.
They didn't even go in the building and go, "I wonder if there's an office upstairs."
Yeah,
They don't even do that.
in a back room or I'll kill every last person in this building. One by one. Do you understand me?
They just keep fighting. It's like, did you think that would lead to anything? Viper knows nothing. T-Leg Bone is just some fuck ass dude.
Jesus Christ,
Like, what the hell are you doing?
like Gene Hackman in fucking French Connection like shook down a bar
Right.
better than these dipshits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't look for anything.
Just go in.
But
break
they're
the
worst
law
cops.
that doesn't exist.
They're basically
they're the
following the
worst
lead
cop.
that the swordsman also fights in the tournament. He does. It has nothing to do with him also being part of the Hellsiders. It's like,
Or have anything to do with the fake AIDS vaccine.
no, it's just like, what are you trying to find out? Yes, he exists. Now what? Like,
But he walked into this building. What are they doing there? Well, there's a fighting tournament. Well, I guess we'll just join that tournament and hope he shows up. Oh,
it's
good,
okay.
he
I
did.
might be murdered in the ring, and my wife and kid left to fend for themselves. Whatever. I mean, it's so dumb. It's
love it.
It's so funny.
This is a good example of like why when you're writing a script you should probably read some of it back out loud.
Yeah, more than one pass would be nice.
Yeah, just take another look at it
It's
real
so
quick.
good.
What happens next? I think this is the point where we're back at the fights and
We gotta breeze
Viper-
through some of this shit.
Oh God,
Viper
yeah.
is talking to Braniff and he's like, "Oh, I heard Drexel and the swordsman talking with some of those Hell Riders talking about a vaccine in the alleyway," and then. And Braniff's like, "Oh, word."
Viper would have told anyone
Yeah,
that.
got
Like
it.
he didn't tell them because he was fighting with him. You could have like, "Hey, Viper," while he's walking out of the place. Be
Oh,
like,
what's that about
"Hey."
the vaccine? I heard about it earlier. Like, what?
Like, he didn't need to fight in the tournament to get Viper to speak. He doesn't give a fuck.
And he's kind of nice.
Yeah, he's a nice dude. Yeah.
He probably would have just helped you.
But he's about to tell him all this stuff, and then the ball guy comes in and goes, "Hey, somebody dropped out of the championship match. You're going up to a lethal match."
Mm-hmm.
To him, and he's like, "Oh, great!
Fuck
This is where
yeah.
the money is. Fuck yeah, I could die. Awesome." And Braniff's like, "Whoa, dude, you shouldn't do that. No, I'm good. Fuck our conversation. I'm gonna go die now." And that is exactly what happened.
I'll tell you all the pertinent information when I get back.
Yeah,
from the
after
fighting.
I win this lethal
Wait,
combat.
just wait till I win.
Yeah, wait till I win the lethal
100% chance I win. 100%.
And
This
then
Mortal
Braniff,
Kombat
and then
I'm gonna
upstairs
engage
in the room that the cops never look for, Braniff is like, deny him of the weapon. You
Well,
know?
first of all, he's about to fight some other dude, and then
Drexel, you mean?
yeah, you Drexel.
he's
Sorry.
supposed to
Yeah.
fight that other guy, and then all of a sudden, fucking swordsman comes
Swordsman
out,
comes out.
and he's like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, "Wait, the fuck is going on?"
God,
and then,
I wish Chad Braniff was like there at the gate, like, hey, tell me the information before he. Hurry!
He's gonna kill you in like 4 minutes.
He's
please.
like, look how big he is. Hurry!
So they start fighting. He's getting his ass whipped on. The swordsman magically gets a sword, and the other guy's weapon won't
It
pop
won't
off.
unmagnetize.
Oh wait, no, I'm fucking this all up.
Yeah, because it would.
It wasn't that. It was he wasn't fighting the swordsman. He fought that guy with the Phantom of the Opera mask.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hood.
Either way,
Yeah, the
that's
hood.
Yeah, either way, yeah.
Yeah.
But that
It's
guy,
rigged.
that
It's
guy
still
gets
rigged,
a
yeah.
sickle and like throws it in his back,
Right.
and he dies.
It's a hatchet.
And he's like, "It was a sickle.
It was a hatchet.
It was a sickle.
It was a hatchet.
It
but
was a sickle.
It was a
God
hatchet.
damn it!
doesn't matter, but it was a hatchet.
It was a sickle.
No,
I'll die on this hill.
The very first fight with the
had
small
sickles.
Asian man had sickles.
Viper died
Fine.
getting a hatchet.
It was a hatchet in the back.
Fine.
Do not argue.
Fine.
Weaponry.
I like that Matt Hall remembers one thing.
That's the only thing I remember.
And-
Don't take this from me.
And you're like,
Fair enough.
no, you're wrong.
No, I thought it was a sickle.
That's all
right.
I know.
That's
So
how
then-
Viper died, okay?
Viper's
dead.
dead. And
Viper's
fucking
Without giving all the information
Braniff is
out.
like, fucking God damn it, he didn't tell me
Right.
anything.
I should have asked him twice, maybe.
It doesn't this when he runs
But he
into
still
the
goes back
one-
to the police station.
But no, wait, he runs into the one-eyed guy on the way out, right? And he's like, he
He
has
was like, that was rigged.
that
And he
was
goes,
rigged. He's like,
"No
well,
shit."
he got what he wanted, a fight to the death. And he's like, well, how come you're still alive? And he says, because I don't want anything.
Yeah, he's like, he was like, Hell's,
It's
the
like,
Hell
okay.
Zone gives everybody what
What
they
they want.
And he's like, well, what do you want?
You
He's
don't
like,
want
"I
meals? You don't want.
anything."
That's what Brandon should be like. Well, I want the location of where they're making a fake AIDS vaccine.
Yeah, just give it to me then.
Give it to me.
Could have saved a lot of time. A lot of grief. But then
Braniff
for
really
some-
wasn't going to outfox anybody, unfortunately.
No.
For what he got no information off of Viper and goes to the chief of police and is like, so there's a vaccine. I've heard about it.
We
And he-
still
Oh,
can't.
no. He talks. No, yeah, they go to the police station because this is when they're like, so what happened to that other scumbag we arrested the other day? And you're like, hasn't it been weeks? What's going on? And they're like, we're transporting that guy to a high security. And you're like, oh, well, he's going to break out.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that's exactly what happens. You watch him get like burst out of a van. And instead of like going back to the Hell Zone, he like goes in the cop computer, somehow looks up
their faces.
Braniff's face in a computer.
Jackpot.
Right.
And goes to his house
Kills his
and
wife.
kills his wife, who is talking on the phone with her mom, being like, "How's Billy doing? Okay, I'm glad he's with you. That's
I'm gonna
great.
do you. He's not here
I
with
think
me.
somebody's at the door. I'm dead."
What a life that woman had.
Yeah, wow,
God
wow.
damn
The
it.
movie really fucking
Loved her. Really cared about
her.
her. Yeah.
So then she's dead, and then Brandon's like, "Oh my god, Viper's dead. I didn't get the information. Everything's all fucked." That happened before.
Because doesn't Gary Daniels fight the swordsman next?
Yeah. No, sorry.
We're almost at the end.
We're almost
Yeah,
at the
don't
end
ask
now.
me.
How could you forget? We just watched the ending.
All I know is it was a hatchet.
God damn
After
it.
Viper dies, I think that's when he rushes home and finds out. No. You're right. They leave. He gets broken out of jail. They go back for more fights. This is when Gary Daniels.
Because the obvious
Gary
solution,
Daniels is about to
Viper
have-
was just slaughtered in the ring. I'll go back and get in the
No,
ring.
he
You're
kills his
Yeah.
wife,
right.
and then goes to
Balky
Draxel's office.
killed the wife.
And
Balky
explains,
goes to the office and was like, I just killed the fucking cop's wife. I'm a badass. This is super fun. And then Gary Daniels is about to have a match, and he goes, wait a minute, that's the other cop. And he goes, oh, really?
He's
Very
fucking
quickly,
dead. Yeah.
lethal match versus the swordsman all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah.
And now Gary Daniels is fighting the swordsman.
It's forever.
Braniff is like locked in a room. He's
locked in the gym room with the
window.
with the window that kind of goes somewhere
that they can see the ring from.
Because
but he can't get out of that room.
They rig the weapon thing. The swordsman gets his sword. Gary Daniels does not get a weapon
at all. Like they don't even deny him the weapon.
He eventually gets a bow staff for a second. Remember, he starts hitting him with it, like jabbing at him, and he cuts it in half.
Chops it apart. Then,
it ends with Gary Daniels
jack up the voltage on the fence and trick him into unlocking a weapon.
Right.
They unlock a weapon.
They
the
electrocute him. The hacker guy's doing all this shit.
He gets all blasted, and then fucking Ultimate Warrior chops his head off.
Which it's cool to see the Ultimate Warrior decapitate Gary Daniels in a movie.
Yeah, for about 3 seconds prior, I was like, "Is this actually gonna happen? He's really gonna behead Gary Daniels?"
Yeah, and it did.
And he sure as fuck did.
Rolled across the ground, picked it up, and held it in the air. It was fucking crazy.
And then it got tossed across the room or something?
Yeah,
did you see that? It was real fast.
Yeah, he threw it or something. Yeah,
but then Braniff throws like the weight set through the window to escape because because they're locked in the room, he figures they're gonna kill him next. And
or he's mad.
When he goes home. He kills a bunch of people on the way out. He
shoots his way out of the club.
People on his way out of the club.
Which he could have done at any
point. It didn't need to happen right now. As far as the people are concerned, it's like
we skipped the
another Tuesday.
We skipped something. When Gary Daniels was getting ready for his fight and the bad Balky was talking to the bad guy, he talked to the waitress again, and the dark-haired lady, and she told him about the warehouse where the fake vaccine
is being made.
And that's when
he shoots his way.
That's when Bad Balky went and killed his wife because he saw that footage on the camera of them.
Yeah, remember he saw the footage of the two of them talking.
Yeah, and he shows it to Drexel.
And then Drexel takes her hostage.
Yes,
right.
But he goes home and finds his wife dead.
Yes.
And tells the chief that his partner's dead.
They killed my partner. They killed my wife.
And he should have been like, wait a minute. Sledge is dead? When?
Yeah, right.
He didn't know. 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, he died in the hell zone.
Don't
worry about it.
And McQueen had zero emotion about the death of his partner and his wife within like 10 minutes of each other.
He wants to have sex with that woman. And now he can't guilt-free.
Now he's got to go save
she seemed a lot cooler.
His son has a new mother who's less annoying and down with Hellzone
think about his
sex.
Son, man.
I try not to.
I'm glad we never have to see him again because it's such a depressing thought. Dad's gonna leave for several weeks and come back with black eyes, and then eventually I'm
going to send you to my mother's.
It's sort of like the end of Close Encounters where Dreyfus just leaves his family.
Bye. Y'all ain't as interesting.
He's not interesting as the universe.
So anyway. So
not as interesting as Justice.
Are we back up to the beheading?
Oh yeah, we're past that.
And he's telling the chief, "I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to fucking kill them." And he's like, "You can't do it." And he goes, "It's the." And then
it's the Hell Zone.
Acknowledges it, and he goes, "It's the Hell Zone. You can't stop me from doing that."
And he goes, like, "Oh, well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, fair enough."
Then he suits up. I hate this thing. He suits up. He gets all commandoed out.
Yeah, on a police motorcycle.
Yeah, and then he barely does anything with all this shit.
Yeah, he kills 2 people outside the club, uses the laser to blow up some cars that were already on fire.
Right.
And then goes in the club.
He does. Yeah.
He gets shot in the chest. There's a video playing of Draxel being like, "Sorry, I'm not there in person. I kidnapped your beautiful, your now love interest.
I'm at the fake AIDS vaccine warehouse now,
and you'll never find me." And then he gets shot in the back by Bad Balky. But then he wasn't dead, and he just shoots him
so unceremoniously, kills Balky.
Yeah,
it's like,
okay,
he's dead. All right.
And then he finds that warehouse in like 2 seconds somehow. It's like insane.
It's like in the back of the building.
Yeah, he's just like, "Oh, I'm here now, and I'm fucking shit up. Like, kill a bunch of people, get inside."
And now it's
all those scientists working so hard on
that
making
was hilarious.
Kool-Aid.
What are they making?
I don't know.
It's just liquid.
Do you understand those scientists were like, do you know how much money we're making off this idiot who said
Yes.
that he tried to hire scientists to make a
make a
vaccine that
liquid.
doesn't work when he
like
doesn't realize it's
he like
just
I mean,
subcontracted
okay,
them and they just like fleeced him.
Matt, you're like kind of a medical professional. Aren't
Yes,
you?
Yes.
Couldn't you inject like
Technically.
you wouldn't kill someone by just injecting like water and food coloring into them.
Not that specific thing, no.
That's what I'm saying. So like if that vaccine was just a bunch of vials of green food coloring and water,
be fine.
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
wouldn't be dying and it
Right.
would be ineffective. You don't need to
Exactly.
be creating a slightly almost nigh vaccine to
Right.
do literally nothing in people's bodies.
Here's the vaccine, but missing a key enzyme
Right, I
that
just-
you won't check for.
The only thing that stops AIDS is this enzyme. It's not in it. So what's the point of any of it being important?
Right. It doesn't make sense. Why does they just not making water?
Yeah.
It's food coloring. It's green liquid. Oh
It's
my
like-
god.
it's
They
like-
might be, man. That's what I'm saying.
But they had vials and it looked like Frankenstein.
you gotta still look like you're working, Bob. You know what I mean?
It's like hiring scientists.
Drexel's not a moron. He's like,
Yes, he is.
No, he definitely is.
He's trying to run a business in a fucking hell zone instead of trying to be like a despot in the hell zone, which is what you should be
Yeah.
doing.
yeah, I guess you're right.
It's like hiring a bunch of scientists to make like cookies that have like slightly less salt in them or something.
yeah, right. It's just so
Like, we
useless.
needed them.
So anyway, Drexel has what's her name?
I don't know.
Drexel
Oh.
has the
Come
woman-
on, Bob. This movie hates women.
I know,
You
it
think
hates
we're
women
gonna
so
remember her name? There's
know.
no way she said
I
it
just
once.
had hope. I had
Brian.
hope. That
I don't think she
somebody
had a
did.
name.
No, she said it once,
Alexis
and I
or
bet that was the
something?
only time we ever heard
She looked
it.
like an Alexis.
She
We'll
looked
go
like
with
an
that. We'll go with that.
He's holding.
I'm almost positive she said her name in that first scene, and no one
Never
ever
again.
actually called her by her fucking name.
Drexel is holding the
Kidding.
woman, and it's a standoff. It's with him and Braniff, and then the swordsman comes in,
Yes.
and
And
finally we're
should
gonna
have
get to
made-
see Doughboy and the 20-story high swordsman fight it out.
Meat refrigerator.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have fucking murdered him in like half a second. I don't know why
Oh, yeah.
this fight lasted any time.
Right.
Yeah, Swordsman's just like hanging out in the corner of the room.
Also, really angered me, like it always does. Drexel has a gun in his hand, and
Could've just shot him
Braniff
at
is
any
just
time.
like, he's like, no, now you'll watch as Braniff fights the swordsman. Like, she barely knows him. This guy's your problem. Shoot him. You're in the hell zone.
Yeah.
And you don't, I guess he does like fighting. He likes watching fights.
Maybe it's a
Yeah.
sexual thing. Anyway,
He does have a fighting ring for a reason. He watches all of them. Like, ugh,
sucking on grapes.
Right.
He's got something in his mouth.
There is a sexual reason he likes watching men fight. So
Okay, so then
they fight.
Gross.
they fight.
And there's.
Who
That-
cares? It's so bad. 'cause
It's so bad.
It's like
But he
Ultimate
tri-
Warrior having to not just murder him.
But he
because
tricks
can't
him.
fight.
He tricks him in
Oh,
the
he
fight.
pulls the sword out like he's gonna kill him, but he stabs an electrical outlet.
Yeah,
He
McQueen,
dodges it.
McQueen
Or a
dodges,
fuse box.
like lines his
And
body in
Ultimate
front of
Warrior
a
is
fuse box,
electrocuted. Yeah.
and he dodges, and yeah,
He dodges
That
it.
wouldn't kill him. Like
He would
the
probably
blade
live.
of a sword goes into wood. Like,
Don't-
like
the
he
science
would- I
is-
know,
he'd be
I know.
pretty fucked up though.
No, he
How does
wouldn't.
Drexel
The
die?
current wouldn't hit him.
How does Drexel die?
Oh,
I don't even
Huh?
remember how Drexel dies.
That's a good question.
I do not remember how this ends.
Drexel.
Holy fuck!
How does he die?
Does he die?
He definitely dies. Oh, it happens so fast. The swordsman like hits the ground, and
Braniff picks
Braniff
the sword
takes
up
the
and
sword
throws it at him.
throws
Oh,
into,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
into his
right.
chest, and then
Okay.
It's
he,
actually
like,
kind of cool,
He
and I
says some
totally
kind
forgot
of
about it.
bullshit to him, and then pushes him through the
And twists
the
it.
ceiling,
Oh yeah, he falls
Yeah,
through
yeah,
that
yeah.
glass.
the
That
glass
that,
ceiling,
yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
into the lab.
In the
quote unquote.
movie, in the most insulting ending,
Woo boy!
it ends with with fucking Chad
McQueen.
and the
holding a woman that was from the Hell Zone that's not his wife an hour after his wife is dead. How long has it been since he found out his wife is dead?
less
Maybe an hour.
An hour at max.
At max.
Yeah.
Max.
Holding her like they're in love. Credits.
Credits roll.
Yeah,
Unfucking believable.
yeah.
What a movie.
It's unbelievable.
Movie that hates women, doesn't understand how
AIDS.
AIDS or vaccines work or how
Or
crime
logic,
should work.
really. But
I just don't. How were they gonna make money off of people having AIDS? What was the point of it, or was it just I'm a mean
my
guy
thought
thing?
is they were trying to manufacture tons of fake vaccine to sell it to legitimate hospitals.
That's
the only way.
How would the news? I don't.
Yeah,
like,
the only
news
way it would
was
be
alerted
viable.
to it being fake. So someone at a legitimate hospital would have to been like, "Hey, this vaccine isn't working."
Yeah, the only way
actually.
that would be a viable business is by scamming like
Giant-
other businesses,
right.
not single people on the street.
Yeah.
That would be. I mean, if that's what they were doing,
Good for that.
God, fuck, I don't know.
You're telling me that people in health, why not just make drugs like
That's what I'm saying.
like
It's
normal
just
drugs? You could have
the
probably made as much
plan.
money as a fake vaccine.
Well, this illegal fight pit I've been running in this hell zone is going pretty well. Next,
And it was going well. He had a good business there.
Maybe
The
he's
fight pit was making
maybe
money.
He's a bad businessman.
He is. He just sucks.
He was overly ambitious.
He had one idea that finally took off, and he was like, "Well, I'm a genius," and now all my ideas.
I also
are
like
good.
his
Too
name
much
is-
So now
hubris.
I'll make that
His name is
fake
Drexel.
AIDS vaccine.
Pretty
I thought
funny.
was a really
Drexel,
good idea.
yeah.
Well, it's the bad guy from True Romance. Gary Oldman from True Romance, Drexel.
The guy who played Drexel, I've seen before, but I
Yeah,
can't
he's in
place
other
it.
stuff.
The guy
Yeah,
who
this movie
in this
just, like-
movie.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite
Oh, yeah.
character?
In this movie?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like any of them really. but
Like I said, I think the most likable character was Boone, and she got murdered in like 10 minutes
She
into
was
the
most
movie.
likable. My favorite character was the computer scientist. The guy that just
hacker?
kept, the hacker guy
The
that
hacker
just kept
guy.
looking and
Yeah.
I
nodding
mean,
and
I would
typing.
just say Ultimate Warrior just because he's the Ultimate Warrior
Yeah.
and he was in a movie.
I mean, the
I
other,
was not expecting the Ultimate
No.
Warrior, so
the only other one that was sort of
He looks
likable was that
nuts.
Viper guy who got.
yeah, Viper
Yeah.
looked. He was nice.
He was kind of cool.
Also, Gary Daniels was having a good time
yeah, he was.
as an acting wise.
Instead of,
But his
he was the
character was like
worst
a piece
cop.
of shit.
Oh,
Yeah, he
piece
was
of
a
shit.
bad cop. He fucked.
He was like a
prostitutes.
fascist pig,
Yeah.
but he was having a good time acting in the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas Chad McQueen looked like he just would
Miserable.
rather do anything
He
else.
looked miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked really miserable. Are we recommending people actually watch this?
No, too much fighting.
Compared to what?
Watch the first 10 minutes and turn.
Watch
Once
the
they
first
break
10
the
minutes.
Ultimate Warrior out of.
Watch the first 10 minutes and the fight where Gary Daniels gets decapitated. That's the only fight you need to watch.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch a fight from this movie. That's it.
I guess.
You don't need that, but
I honestly, none of the fights in this movie were worth a shit.
yeah, they're just wide shots. They're all
None of them.
It's like an above shot and a wide shot from the side. It's just no filmmaking in them.
The more I think about
know,
this
it
movie,
doesn't-
the more I dislike it.
Yeah.
Whereas Epicenter, I actually
Not that we should be comparing, but it is the same director.
it's the same director.
Yeah,
It's
It
the only
is
reason
the same
I'm,
director.
and but anyway, like if I compare those two, Epicenter actually grew on me a little bit.
Yeah.
The more I thought about it, this one makes me mad. The more I think about it,
Yeah, it's too much fighting,
And it
It's
should have been awesome.
entirely
It's
too much
also
fighting.
like not the poster's atrocious and the title.
and
Yeah.
The title
I mean,
has nothing
the plot is terrible.
to do.
but like as far
yeah.
as hardware, they had all the ingredients there to make a really cool ass movie.
They fucked
a
it
cool
up
ass
on every
schlock
step.
movie.
Right.
And we're not asking for it to be good.
No, yeah, just like
Just to be interesting and fun.
entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining. It's not.
And they
It's
just
not entertaining.
it's not. It starts off and then just drops off a fucking cliff.
Richard Pepin has made entertaining PM movies, but this isn't one of them. This is sad.
Just watch the opening and try to wrap your head around the fucking newscast.
The
Just turn it
newscast-
off after a minute.
Just watch the newscast at the opening and then be like, all right,
give up.
write your own movie from that newscast.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
dumb as that is, that's what you're in for the whole rest of the
Right.
movie.
Right.
It's that dumb the whole time.
All right. That's all we got,
Yeah.
really. It was a hatchet. Just so you know.
It was a hatchet. You can go to hell if you disagree.
I hope you get AIDS in the future.
Well,
'cause
I'm
it'll
sure
never
shit
be
won't
cured.
be dumb enough to go into the hell zone to buy a fake vaccine.
All right, bye.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.